Yeah, I mean, obviously they shot it well. We threw some different things at Doncic. Obviously, he's seen everything. But I thought in the first half the turnovers really hurt us. Turnovers for the game hurt us. May not look like a lot, but a lot of it led to points on their end. I thought that was a problem. I thought we shot the ball well, and when we generated good shots without turning it over, I thought were effective. On offense. But to your point, when you try to take Doncic or LeBron away, what ends up happening is the ball's going to find those guys, and sometimes those guys can have nights like that. And Hachimura has always been a pretty good shooter. He's improved his range over his career. He always kind of played right around the free throw line, mid range area, but he certainly extended it out.
You guys had a season high 10 turnovers in that second quarter. That's most for quarter all season. What did you see in that quarter? Was it just sloppiness, or?
Yeah, I just thought we were careless, in a lot of ways, and they're a very, very high IQ cerebral team, and they were switching and doing different things, and I just thought, a lot of it was like outlet passes and not recognizing that there's a guy running behind you, and yes, I think carelessness would probably be the best way to phrase it. Defensively was whether it was Smart, LeBron, and or Luka, that we were just kind of getting just driven through to the rim, and we've got to be able to hold up. And I think that with the way both those guys pass, it's kind of like pick your poison, because if you start going down in that non-paint two area and start trapping them, which we had to do in the second half, that's where the sprays come and the threes come and they generate open shots. So I thought that hurt us in the first half, the turnovers, and then really kind of what I would classify as our post defense, really from our perimeters. And then we kind of started to trap a little bit more. So we played him head up in the post, and then we tried to trap him a lot more in the second half.
One issue that team alluded to a little bit there. One issue is those teams had trouble with. Obviously, came back, got fouled. He had an incredible shooting run there. He did like 10, 11 threes or something.
Yeah.
But right before that, it seemed like what was going on is they get enough pressure you in the half court, and they were all settling for threes. They were just like they were just shooting on the perimeter. I happened to make a bunch of them, but it seemed like that's where you broke down.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the threes are okay provided it gets to the paint. Those are generally the ones you shoot a good percentage on. They were switching a lot. I think we could have executed better in terms of taking advantage of certain things. I thought we got a little bit too ball dominant and ball heavy, and we were kind of moving the basketball. I thought, and to start the third was great. We got to the paint. They're going to collapse. I mean, I think every team in the league is kind of doing the same thing defensively, and I don't think we're any different. You're trying to protect the rim as much as you can and take away fouls, offensive rebounds, and layups. So everybody converges. So when the ball does it to paint, those are the ones generally you're going to be able to do. And the other part of it, too, was kind of reason why I ended up going with three guards, because we needed to break somebody down off the dribble to get into the teeth of the defense. And to your point, I did think at times we got too much around the perimeter. And I played, going with Io and Josh and Coby. I just thought that, one of those guys, maybe through transition, pace of play, missed shot, quick inbound, we could kind of, to your point, get some thrust to the basket. But we did have some possessions where we really never kind of got downhill. Plus, on top of that, I thought we missed Vooch a ton tonight. I thought he had some really, really good post position in a lot of different situations, and we settled for some threes where that ball probably should have been dumped down. Coby tried to throw it down there one time, the ball got kind of deflected. But we missed him, too much, and that would have given us another, to your point, instead of being on the 3-point line, given us another, presence at the rim. Whether it been we couldn't get there on the drive, we could have got there on the pass.
They're a team that turned people over a lot. I think the second half we was a lot better. I think we maybe had one turnover in the second half. That first half, we just had a stretch where we, turned it over, back to back to back. And then they got on the run. Then I think, like I said, the second half we was a lot better. And then just things didn't go our way tonight.
Billy said that with Luka, you just have to try mixing up coverages and giving him different looks. I mean, when he's cooking, though, he's just a tough.
Yeah, he's a tough guard. I mean, because he's so smart, cerebral. When he has it going, especially when he's hitting the step back three, you got to try to take away something. And then I feel like whatever you try to take away, or whatever you can't take away everything. And the one thing that you leave out there, that he manipulates it. He's just a tough cover. Like, obviously, he's one of the best players in the world. He had it going tonight. So, I mean, We try mixing up coverages. We try doubling. We try blitzing pick and roll. We tried a lot of different things, and it just seems like he was just one step ahead the whole entire night.
How do you guys make sure now? I mean, you guys have gone through these, impressive stretches where it's 4 or 5 game winning streak and it's against good competition, and then there's these lulls. And I mean, that's why you guys are sitting at 500. How do you make sure that this doesn't lead into a lull with the week you guys have coming up right now?
Yeah, just make sure we take it game by game from one. We're not, don't look towards, we got 4 games in 5 days or whatever. We take it game by game. We go to Indiana tomorrow. And we just, I think mentally we just stay locked into what we're doing. I think we did a lot of good things tonight. We shot the ball really well. It just so happened they got a guy named Luka who had 46 points, So for us, we just got to continue to bounce back and not let it, dwindle, not let it snowfall, not let it avalanche. So we just got to come out ready to compete against Indiana, who had our number this year for sure. So we got to, look towards that game. Like, we got to be locked in and ready to play.
Coby, what has this stretch been like for you, being able to play 7 straight games without taking any time off and your minutes being over 30?
It's been cool. It's been cool. Like, obviously, everybody deals with stuff at this time of the year, whatever it may be. But it's been fun, being able to play consecutive games and stacking games. So, like I always say, I'm grateful. I'm thankful to be able to play the game I love. The Lord blessed me with a gift, so I try to use it every time I get a chance to.
Have they communicated to you a plan about these upcoming back-to-backs?
Nah, we ain't really talking about it yet.
You'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, I found out probably tomorrow.
Kobe, we had a good second quarter, kind of fun way. Turnovers, the shot, and they got on that run, and made like 10, 11 threes, I think. What was going on, other than was it just hit or miss, or was there something going on as far as that shooting?
No, I think we got a lot of really good looks tonight in terms of from the three. We got stops during that stretch. We was able to get some stops and some runouts. But it's hard when, you're not getting stops and you're trying to play fast. And then they did a good job of, disguising defenses, acting like they was in zone, but really they was in man. They did a hell of a job, of trying to slow us down on the offensive end. But I think that during that stretch, obviously we hit shots. I feel like we didn't get, any different type of looks than we had got all night. I think we was getting looks we wanted all night. But like I said, the key thing is that we was just getting stopped during that stretch.
The other thing is you guys made a lot of those runs this season, got back in games that you were down. You sort of had that, got within 6 or 7.
I think it was a 3-point game.
Yeah. So at that point, you're thinking, hey, we're going to pull another one out there.
Of course, that's the mindset, right? We fought our way back. We're on a run. We're at home. But like I said, once we went on that run, like Luka hit some big shots, Bron hit some big shots. Rui was huge for them tonight. And they hit timely shots. At the time that we made a run, they came back and they weathered the storm that they was in, and they made some big time plays to push the lead back up.
Not that you were pleased with the loss, but the fact that you got back in it after you're down that far and you made those plays, is that something to carry forward with you?
Of course, you always want to, don't ever want to give up. So, and I think we're showing that all year that we're a resilient group, like I said. But at the end of the day, it didn't really matter because obviously we lost the game. But you obviously want to carry over how we played the second half and then, to the Indiana game.
We were stagnant. We didn't get out in transition, so they bogged us down in the half court. And I think they switched a lot of stuff, and we were just slow to get into actions. We were holding the ball too much, trying to go one-on-one. So when you play against them like that, you kind of fall right into their hands. And we obviously were careless with the ball, but I thought the way they defended us, we didn't play fast enough. We didn't get up and down the floor like we needed to, but give credit. They were active with hands, and they got in the lane and got deflection. They got steals.
Your minutes went up to 28. Are you still feeling fine out there?
Yeah, I feel good. And obviously, it's a kind of slow increase just with the soft tissue stuff. You don't want to rush it back and go straight back to playing 30 minutes. So, I feel good.
How do has there been a plan to communicate to you about the back-to-backs 4 and 5 nights yet?
No, I've actually got to talk to Eric about that now. But no, I haven't talked about it with him yet.
What's coming off the bench been like for you?
It's been different, but it's probably for the minutes that I'm allowed to play, it's probably better. And I have no issues with it. I think it's better for managing the minutes. I think if you're playing 48-minute game, and you're only playing 24, you're only really playing half. But if you sit the first, 7, 8, it kind of condenses it a little more. So obviously Billy spoke to me about that. I was more than fine with it. So as I said, it's been a little different, just kind of getting used to not playing that first 6, 7, 8 minutes. But as I said, I've had no problems with it.
It's much harder to like get into a rhythm after sitting for a little while before.
A little bit, but it's kind of just like coming out of the game and going back in. I'm just not starting. When the ball's tipped from the jump, you're coming in 8 minutes later. So it hasn't been too bad. I don't mind it at all.
Josh, how do you guys make sure that you guys have had these streaks where you guys have been on a nice roll and then you guys have gone into lulls? How do you make sure that these lulls are kind of getting behind this team now?
Yeah, good question. I think we've been, we've had those stretches where we look really good. We just come off 5 in a row, and then we go through stretches where we don't look as good. So it's a matter of just, getting back to who we are as a team, playing to our identity. And I thought we didn't really do that tonight. But when we do it, we showed that we can play with anybody in the league. And it's a matter of just finding it consistently, finding ways to win when the shots don't fall, when things aren't going the way offensively. How else can we be impactful and win games? So, we got to get back to that as a group. And I think, I don't think we lost it too much tonight. First half, we're a little slow to come out the gates, but second half, a lot of positives to build off. But tough stretch coming on 4 and 5 nights, so we got to be ready to go.
Is that frustrating knowing that you guys have shown? This last week with Boston and Minnesota, those are really good wins, especially for this time of the year. Is that frustrating that you guys can't get on something more consistent?
It is. 5 in a row was, I'd say, it's somewhat consistent, but I think just stringing and not letting these losing streaks kind of spiral out of control. You want to keep it to 1-2 games and get back on the right track pretty quickly. But we got a resilient group. We don't come into the locker room after a loss and think the world's collapsing, because we got another opportunity in 48 hours. So we like where we're at as a team. Obviously, we'll watch the film tomorrow and get ready for Indy.
Got to ask you about that 3-quarter shot.
Yeah. Billy shouldn't have called a timeout. Just let it go. Let's just go.
I know it didn't count, but that is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I like shooting those long range ones. But yeah, glad to win it.
You practiced?
Not really. As I say, anytime at the timeout, the whistle blows and I get a second after, I always let it go. So that one did not happen to go in.
Did you think about the shot you made last year? Same opponent.
Not really. No, not in that instance.
Hey, Josh, forgive if this is a repetitive question, but Luka tonight, he's one of the best players in the world, obviously. What's it like playing against him on the court?
Yeah, he's a tough cover, and I think obviously he showed why he's so good tonight. But, he requires multiple different coverages, and I think we tried to mix it up on him tonight. But, the NBA is full of talented guys, and some nights the skill set kind of overrides anything you do defensively. He did that tonight. Give him credit, but I thought, we made him take tough shots. He shot a lot of step backs, contested, twos in the mid range, which, shots you're usually willing to give up. And talented guys in the NBA can make tough shots. So tip your hat. He had a hell of a night, but there's tough covers every night.
What about who you play with? Obviously playing with different guys when you come in at different points. You finish the game with maybe the same guys.
Yeah.
But when you come in, it looks like lately when you're coming in games, you've been shooting more than usual.
Yeah, just trying to let the game come to me and not going out predetermining what I want to do. And some nights the game calls for you to shoot the ball, some nights it calls for you to pass and get off of it. So I try to come in and see how the game's flowing. It's good to sit there for the first 6-7 minutes and see how the game's flowing and what the game needs when I get in there. And as I said, I try to just do what the game calls for.
Is it any different with who you're playing with compared to the guys you're starting with?
Not really. I think Billy's kind of been consistent with going deep, 10, 11 guys into the bench. So I've had time with everybody on the floor. So it's nothing new whether I come off the bench or start. We're kind of playing similar guys, and the style of play that we have doesn't change with the first unit or the second unit. So we play the same, and whoever's out there on the floor, we're up and down. We're trying to get active defensively so we can get out of transition. So no, the lineups and things like that haven't disrupted me at all.
One other thing I want to ask you. Obviously, you guys talk about playing in transition, get fast break points. It seems like where you make the difference in the half court, where you move the ball so quickly. The guys don't hold it seem like as much as other teams. Is that sort of a priority of the way you want to play?
Yeah, it is.
Sort of that 0.5 thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think a team like the Lakers probably falls into the hands, as I said, when you hold the ball and you're stagnant. But when you move it, make them go multiple actions, things like that, they can be, I don't know the word, but they can kind of that's not their strong suit. But as I said, when you stand there holding it, you're playing against a 5-set defense, and it's tough to play. So, yeah, I think not just tonight, but any night when we move the ball the way we do, we look good. When we get out of transition, we look good. So, I don't think we did that enough tonight, and that's probably why we lost the game.